But for now, it's game number 1, Strelok versus MaNa on Daybreak. You guys just saw that sweet little map intro, Daybreak. The best place to take a date.
Yes, I still think so, man. I just want to take someone to Daybreak.
I'm still
I'm still
an advocate of Ohana, man. You like the city life. I like just chilling out on the beach.
That is true.
With my campfire and my volleyball net.
Miles card coaches MaNa is of course our Polish Protoss spawning on the right top side of Daybreak, and Evixol Strelok is our Ukrainian Blue Terran spawning in the left bottom side. Ben, you know all about the history between these two fellow nice, handsome Eastern European gentlemen.
They've played a lot in the past, Kevin. 19 meetings across several different tournaments, and Strelok is actually the guy with more wins. He's won 10 of those 19 games. But, you know, that being said, MaNa is definitely at a high point, I think, in his career in terms of his overall skill, and certainly is a great tournament player. I think MaNa is going to take this series.
I'm going to have to agree with you on this one, Ben. As you said before as well, MaNa has been in a group with 3 Codas Terrans, and even though he did not do all that well, he did completely outplay Teja on one map.
Yes, he did. Absolutely crushed him with just brilliant decision-making, excellent micro.
Yeah, just everything,
Never
man.
floated more than 400 minerals.
Completely out multitasking now. We're just being sarcastic, of course, guys. We made a couple of people on Twitter angry when MaNa won that map. Of course, I mean, I'm a Teja fan. Everybody who lost StarCraft is a Teja fan, but I was really hoping for MaNa to do something spectacular in Codas. And the first map, he kind of got outplayed. And then the second map, he took a natural, but basically it was just a straight-up 4-gate. And we were having a little fun with it, and some people got really mad. MaNa was not ready yet for the likes of Teja and MMA. But of course, Strelok, no matter how good of a player Strelok really is, Ben, he is no Teja and he's no MMA.
Well, I feel sad agreeing with you, but you're right. Strelok, a top European Terran, but even in his own country, there are other players that are better, you know, and he's always, you know, a very fierce contender here at the North American Star League. He's been to 2 of our 3 finals.
Yes, that's a really good record.
But, I mean, it's just, he's good, man. He's really good, and he might win this series, but I do think MaNa's the better player.
I'm a little bit surprised, by the way, Ben. MaNa did scout it. Well, he's going to mine a little bit less gas. He scouted the CC first away by Strelok, which I find an interesting opening. He's going to follow it up with double racks. And I guess he's already going to drop refineries after that. So it's going to be quite a greedy build by Strelok. He's going to have an insanely good economy. I mean, I always say that no gas fast expand, but racks first for Terran is already a little bit better than the 1-gate fast expand compared to Protoss. And now look at this, Ben. That this CC or this orbital is going to be ready, while this Nexus is not even going to be halfway done. That's so crazy.
Great economic opening here for Strelok. I'm very curious to see if he's going to try to add a 3rd command center or not.
I think he's going to try to, as he dropped both refineries, I find that very unlikely. Yeah. Most likely going to drop the factory as soon as possible. And then there is going to be this tricky moment where Strelok is going to have stimmed bio with combat shield, with 2 to 3 medevacs, and that's always a tough moment for Protoss.
Yep, that's that sort of early mid-game push that Protoss players have to deal with just perfectly. I will say they've gotten pretty good at it, though. The key is just knowing how to split up your army and being aware, making sure that you don't have the whole force walking into your natural or the whole force being dropped in the back of your main.
That is true, but the time is going to be a little bit different right now due to that command center first, as we do see the factory going up in the main base. But yes, Ben, I think as long as MaNa does... MaNa's mad at his own Nexus. 14 damage. Of course,
you take that.
And shields will regenerate. I do think it's much harder, Ben, if you go up to 3 bases real quick. And I've actually seen MaNa do this in the past quite often. Going Colossus of 2 base, then dropping double forts, and then getting that additional Nexus. Defending 2 spots at once is already pretty hard. Defending 3, close to impossible.
Yep, you're right, man. We'll see if MaNa tries to do that very fast 3rd base or not. In the meantime, guys, I want to remind you, if you haven't picked up your HD Pass, do it now so that you can go from watching our awesome stream to watching our awesome stream in 1080p. It's the best high-definition stream on the internet.
This is really interesting follow-up, by the way, Ben, as we see the tech lab going down for Strelok. So I think this is going to be the Cloak Banshee follow-up after a CC first. Wow, that's cool. And it's also a strategy that I don't see super often from Strelok.
Yeah, not so much from Strelok, but it's one that we do occasionally see from the Koreans.
Man, I think MaNa's in a little bit of trouble as MaNa's going 6-gate. That does mean that he can put some real serious pressure on Strelok. But it also means that he's never going to have a single bit of detection. Now, how this is going to turn out, Ben, that's really a coin flip. You have scenarios where Protoss just crushes Terran, crushes the economy, and then the Banshee just doesn't have enough DPS, or Terran does hold. One Banshee makes his way into the main base of Protoss, and it's game over.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to how MaNa reacts, whether or not he figures out what's going on. Also, whether or not Strelok manages to not die to a big push, you know? As the 6-gate aggression is something that you have to be very mindful of. The Banshee eventually will kill everything, but how much damage can Protoss do in the meantime?
Yeah, that's a really big problem, because MaNa is going to warp in from 6 gates right now, Ben. And one Banshee is really not going to have enough DPS. Strelok does sort of see it coming.
Yeah, he's got SCVs off the line. I'd like to see them in front of the bunkers, not behind the bunkers.
So he's going to use the defense, the Cloak Banshee in a defensive meta. I would love to see him shift-clicking those sentries, or is he going to rally it away?
He's just going to send it out, and here comes the Gateway Army. Great force fields by MaNa, and Strelok can't repair. This is terrible for Strelok.
Now he's actually being indecisive, and I think he's going to bring the Banshee back. He's going to lose both bunkers. There's one Marauder on the map.
Wow, this is just over. There's nothing Strelok can do right now. He doesn't have any capacity to kill these units. He's going to lose every SCV in his natural.
Well, he's eventually, like this one Cloak Banshee is going to be able to kill a lot of sentries. He's going to focus the Tech Lab, but that's a little bit too late. One more Banshee will, well, actually he's just going to focus on the Starport.
No, it does Cloak immediately. Here comes all the SCVs.
Two Marauders.
Strelok's just going to lose so much, Kev.
Yeah, but MaNa's going to lose a lot too. This is not over yet, Ben.
I'm not so convinced as Strelok dips down below 20 supply. And MaNa just
MaNa's making a robo now
forward.
as well. MaNa, of course, knows what's going on. He saw the Banshee. This Banshee is going to run out of energy, and you are right. And it doesn't really matter right now how many probes this Banshee will kill. This game is indeed over, as MaNa, despite having a sort of, I'm not sure if it's a good or bad builder in this scenario. It's really a flippy situation.
It is sort of a flippy situation. So it could be great. It could also be awful. In this case, it was great for MaNa, who does take his first map against Strelok, goes up 1-0.
What do you think would have happened, Ben, if Strelok would have used that first Banshee to defend?
I don't know.
Because I felt in the end, like one moment it sort of came kind of close with all the SCVs and then 2 Marauders and then the additional Banshee. Imagine if there was one more Banshee already picking off those sentries all the time.
I think it depends a lot on when the Banshee starts to defend there. If he brings the Banshee back when the bunkers are down, I think he's still going to take a lot of damage.
Right before the push even starts.
Right before the push starts, if he cloaks, goes in there and right-clicks on all the sentries, that's a completely different situation. Might have changed the outcome of the game. Impossible to say for sure, though, guys. So either way, Strelok is down 1 map. MaNa leads 1-0 after taking Daybreak. We are going to play a short commercial, and then we'll be back with more StarCraft 2, more North American Star League, and Lauren Elise's birthday. Don't go anywhere.